how you can tell the difference between an overhead and an underground wire to the customer is if they got a pole in their yard and if they had overhead wires going to their house. If they have no overhead wires going to their house, they usually have a big green box sitting in their front yard, and that's the transformer. On average, an underground transformer probably feeds about 4 to 5 houses. It does take longer to restore power in the neighborhood if it is underground, because overhead you can visibly see it, and it's more quick to say because there's usually be a switch will be open or something like that, and then you have to just ride out the overhead lines and go back to the switch and restore the power. Underground, you can't see it, so like I said, you have to get out the map books, have to look at everything over and find out where the power source is feeding from, and then go from there. How to get the power back on if we have an outage dealing with underground is we go to the neighborhood, and like I said, we have to get out our map books and we have to look and see where the underground feeds from, and then we go through a process of locating the wire, see where it's feeding from, and then when we find a problem, we have to eliminate the power to that source we're working on to be safe, and so we can fix the problem in that occasion. Some of the obstacles that might pop up dealing with underground is, there could be something that you can't see, and you might open a transformer and there might be something blew off the transformer as far as a lightning arrestor, or there might be a service that comes loose. You just have to try to work safe and just always keep your eyes open when you're dealing with overhead and underground, but underground especially. Like if you're digging a wire up and you have to fix that wire, and you have to be careful not to hit other wires while you're digging that specific wire up, as far as gas lines, cable vision wires, telephone wires. That's another obstacle. The outage we had recently out in Cameron Apartments, it was during a rainstorm, and the transformer we were specifically working on, it was under the ground completely. There was a metal grate on top of it. We lifted the metal grate up, the transformer was totally submerged in water, and the elbow that's plugged on top of the transformer had backed off. We found out in our map books where it was feeding from. We got that transformer killed out, and we tried to plug the transformer back on, the elbow back on, and it still didn't work. So we had to go all the way back to the plant to get a pump and come all the way back and pump all the water and oil inside the vault out so we could get in there and change that transformer. My favorite part about working on underground is, it's the future, and every new development you have coming up is going to underground, and there's just so much to learn. And I mean, there's so much to learn overhead also, but like I said, underground is the future, and it's coming up everywhere. And it's sometimes more difficult to figure out, and it makes it fun. And that's how it works.